Hi, welcome back to the next Gren Twigs video. In this one, I realized that I went straight from episode 13 to episode 14 without explaining how we got back to a compiling working application. When I left things off in episode 13, we had just added this new message variant called got_count, and we are sending a command in a init that's using that. And as you can see over on the right, I have my compiler running in a loop, and it's currently not compiling. However, if you go to episode 14, you'll see that I just jump straight to the point where it is compiling and start talking about error handling. Well, this is a video I'm recording well after the fact to explain how we got from the point in the code from episode 13 to 14. I'll just probably jam this in the playlist at episode like 13.5 or something. Anyway, where we left off after 13 was we had just added this got_count, but the compiler said, hey, you're pattern matching on your message, but not telling me what to do when I see a got_count variant. So let's tell a compiler what to do. And got_count is a variant that holds some data. It holds a result. So I'm going to, in my match here, I'm going to do some destructuring. And I don't know if I've explained destructuring. So if you, I may have, but even if you just need a refresher, if I have, if you go to grenling.org/book, I mean, go ahead and look at all of these. It's good info on the core language basics, but specifically what I'm talking about, if you jump down to custom types, this will explain a little bit about custom types that have data, and then pattern matching on types with data, and then the further higher level concept of destructuring when something's holding data, whether that be a type or a record or whatever. So if you need that info, go right ahead and check that out. Also, I'm going to show you in the package site, packages.grenling.org, in the core package. If you go to down to error handling, the result module, you can see that this result that we're holding here, it has two variants. It has an OK variant that's going to have the value of whatever the successful type is, and an error variant that will be holding a value that's the type of whatever the error value for the result type is. So that means my result will either be an OK with a string, or it will be an error with a web storage read error. So I'm going to create a pattern that matches specifically on the OK case, where I know that I have a string, and that string is going to hold my count. Now I can update my model with this count. However, it is a string, and my model expects an int. So I'm going to say string to int, and this will give me, well, it'll actually give me a maybe int. So to int doesn't return an int. It returns a maybe int, because you might give it a string that can't be turned into an int, you know, an empty string or some text. So in the case where it can be turned to an int, you're going to get a variant called just, and it will hold your int, just int. If it can't, you'll just get a variant called nothing, and it will be nothing. We could get fancy and do something, do some more pattern matching here, but I'm just going to call a function called maybe with default. That basically unwraps that maybe, and it gives you your int if it has it. If it doesn't have it, it will give you whatever you specify as the default. And I'm just going to say the default is going to be 0. So I'll either have a valid count or 0. That should be good. We don't need a command. Let's go ahead and, well, if I compile this, it's still going to say, hey, there's still a missing possibility. You're not covering your error case. In the case of an error, though, for this video, I'm not going to do anything, because I think episode 14 picks up right around here and explains how to do error handling. That should compile. So for now, it's just going to return the same model, unchanged, no command. And yeah, go on to the next video to figure out what to do in the case of having an error.